Hi, everyone. I hope all of you are safe and well and with your families. Right now, we are in some kind of crazy, unprecedented times. And I just want you to know that I'm thinking of you all and wishing the best for you and your families. And I decided for today's project that I was going to do a real nice, simple card with a real simplistic design and some easy coloring because honestly, that's sort of what I have been drawn to these past few days, just like real simplicity, um, designs where I don't need to think that much that just kind of bring comfort to me. And this stamp set, the Everything Wonderful stamp set that was designed by Honeybee Stamps' own Emily on the design team, is the perfect stamp for when you're kind of feeling that way because this is just one stamp, so I didn't have to worry about where to place all the flowers. They're all placed there for me. And then for the coloring, I don't really need to think much about the coloring because I have all these great little lines in the illustration that tell me where to add my shading and contrast tones. So that's sort of what I did for this floral design. I just selected some nice soft colors to have a nice soft color palette, and then I just followed the guides that the illustration gives just to decide where to add the shading. And it was a real nice, peaceful, soothing process to color in this design. So for this flower, I'm making this one a peachy tone, so I'm using R000 as my lightest tone, and then I also use some R20 and R30 for my midtones and contrast colors. And then I thought I would add some pink flowers into the mix just for a little bit of variety, and I'm using RV 91, 93, and 95 for those pink tone flowers. It's the RV 91 through 95. It's a real nice muted pink tone, and I just thought it went really, really well with this design. I was just going for lots of softness, lots of simplicity, and again, to decide where to add my contrast, I'm just following in the little lines that are in the illustration. So wherever you see a little black line, I'm kind of following it along with my contrast color, my darkest color, and then I am blending it inwards with my midtone and then leaving the rest of the flower pretty light with that base tone. And just that little bit of coloring, it just gives it a real nice look. For these next little flowers, I thought I would color them in so they look like forget-me-nots. So I'm using some pale blue shades here with that B000 and then my B41 for my contrasting shade. And I just love the softness that that combination provides. And then for the little berries, I thought it would be nice to make them a lilac shade. So I'm using my B60 to color in the base of all the berries, and then I'll add some shadowing or contrast tones with the B63, and I just think it gives it a real nice pastel look. And then I'm just going to touch up that little peachy pink rosebud with my R30 before we move on to the leaves. For the leaves, I decided to color all the greenery in the image the same. So I'm going to use G40 for my base, and then G46 and G43 as my contrast shades and as the midtone to sort of blend everything together. And I think that these G40s, that it's again a real nice muted green shade, and it just matched in really well with the soft pastel palette for the rest of the flowers. And again, the leaves work the same way, the coloring on the leaves the same way as we did with the flowers. I'm just following in those little lines in the illustration to let me know where to add my darkest shades and then where to leave the image light. So wherever I see a black line, I'm kind of following it along with my contrast shade marker, the G46, and then I'm leaving the areas around that pretty light. So I'm just going to blend out with my G43 And I just love how pretty those leaves are looking with just that little bit of coloring, not a lot of thought. I didn't have to worry about thinking about what I was doing. I just kind of let the illustration guide me. And now that we are done with the coloring, I am going to take the die and just line it up just right and then tape it down so that it doesn't move. And then I'm going to bring it to my die cutting machine to cut the image out. And then I'm going to set it aside and work on our focal panel. So I cut out a sheet of the pattern paper from Honeybee Stamps Valentine's release, and I cut it down to an A2 size card size, and then I'm just going to stamp the sentiment directly onto that pattern paper. So it says praying for you, and I stamp that with my black VersaFine ink. And again, I was just looking for a really nice and simple and easy to execute design for this card, because again, that's just, in these crazy days, that's just what I've been craving, just simplicity and, you know, comfort in my when I have my crafting time. So to give the card a little bit of interest, I just popped it up on a layer of foam tape, and that's it. So that completes the card, and it is using the Everything Wonderful stamp and die set by Honeybee Stamps. And I just love that sentiment. It just really sums up everything that I am feeling now, and I wish everyone the best, and just know that you are in my thoughts and prayers. I will see you again soon in another video.